Welcome to Unfiltered, Eric Cantona. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks to you.
I'm slightly nervous about interviewing you. Yes, because you are a man who I think I know. I think I know a lot about you, and then I start researching the interview, and I realise I know next to nothing. Do you appreciate the iconic status that you have in Britain? Are you aware that you're seen differently from almost any other sportsman of the last 50 years?
I don't think about this kind of thing
at all.
No. Just try to live my as free as possible, and I don't want to analyze this kind of thing. Yeah, it's like when you see somebody who was a kind of it's just an example.
Yes.
But was a kind of seduction, and he knows how he can seduce the people, and he's not. He doesn't have seduction anymore.
I understand.
If you know too many things, sometimes it's not good. I prefer the instinct of things, and not to coming back to the past and try to know why the people like me or hate me or this kind of thing. I just respect the people, and I love them when they love me, and I don't even hate them when they hate me. But I try to use the past to be today, the present, and to even build a better future.
Of course, I asked the question because I learned that when you were 20, you went into psychoanalysis at the age of 20.
Yeah.
Because so you used to ask a lot of questions about yourself.
Yeah, but no. It's I'm curious about all this world as we don't know. Yeah, we see things, which is great, but what's more interesting is what's behind it, and we cannot see. And what's behind that we cannot see, and we make us feel something special, have this kind of emotion, good or bad. I like this travel. It's like walking in the street with the eyes closed, And I do it sometimes, not in the street because it's dangerous, but in the forest. I love to do it.
Really?
I walk, I close my eyes, and it's a very different feeling. And it's a great feeling. And I like to draw with my eyes closed.
Yes,
also.
which is the new book, which we'll have a look at shortly. But don't you worry about walking into trees?
No. I open the eyes sometimes, I look and I focus there on this point, and I try to go. Yeah, and it can be dangerous, but it's why it's so interesting and exciting.
You've always had a relationship with nature. I didn't realise that you grew up you grew up in a cave. Sort of.
My father and my grandfather. My grandfather was building houses, and they bought the land, and it was a cave, and it started from this cave, and they lived 2 years there. Yeah, and the house
built the house out from the back.
Yeah, and when we were kids, we have to help each other and everything.
What was your childhood
this cave
like?
became a bedroom.
Okay, so the cave ended up being one room in the house.
Yeah, it started from a bedroom, and it's still a bedroom.
No. What was your childhood like? You had two brothers. Well, tell me a bit about it.
I had two brothers. Yeah, I have two brothers.
Yes.
I have two wonderful brothers. I'm in the middle. And we had a great family. We live with my grandparents it was a kind of community. And we had a great time, yeah.
You were
They gave us a lot of love, and they teach us the most important thing, I think. Respecting ourselves, respecting the people. Love, it's important. Observing the world, it's important. But it was simple things. But sometimes we went for a weekend or holidays. We were five in a small car, with my parents and my two brothers and my grandparents. From my father's side, we were 7 in a car like this, and we stopped and have a picnic in the nature, but it was a great memory. I love this. And sometimes now the people think that they need to have millions to have a good time. Of course you have millions, you can have a good time, but also because I speak about that today. We didn't have enough money, but just have time together. You have a picnic all together. But you need to have a strong family. You need to have love, which is the most important. That's the base of everything. But if you have love, you can have a great time anywhere. You take a sandwich and you go in a forest, you go on the beach, you go and just share time together.
Sometimes they say that the middle child gets lost
in
3 because the firstborn is the, woo, we have a baby, and then the baby is number 3, and the middle child fades into the background. I don't know that Eric Cantona has ever faded into the background, so presumably not in your family either.
I found my place. I found my place.
What was your place? Where did you fit? Was there a pecking order?
I found my place as a lost man, as a lost boy.
As the lost boy. When did you realise, that you had a particular football talent? Did you realise it yourself? Did somebody tell you? Did people come and talk to your parents? How did that emerge?
I never realised it. Yeah, my father was great because he always gave me this confidence, but he never told me that it was good.
Right.
And it was always helped me to understand, make me understand that I had to work hard to improve, but at the same time give me the confidence. Which is a very difficult balance to find. And it was great. I don't know how I did it, but I had the confidence enough to realize my dream. But until the last day of my career, I always work hard to improve something.
But
why maybe when I retired, I lost the passion for the game, and I said I will not improve anymore, so I retire.
Well, you said again at 20, the same age when you went into psychoanalysis, you did say in an interview that if you run out of passion, you'll walk away.
And nobody believed me.
No.
Maybe I did it to make them wrong.
Just to win the argument, to prove the point. The question also is when you realised it might be a career, because all boys play football, and not all boys end up being professional footballers. So when did you realise that maybe this was a way to make a living, a way to?
When I was a kid, I played football everywhere.
Of course.
My grandmother said that I just started to work, and I kicked everything who was similar to a ball.
But you don't. Do you remember when somebody said this could be your job? This could be your career.
I was passionate by the game.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you are passionate and you want to improve every time you play at your level with your friend, and then you play in another team, and then step by step. And one day somebody asked to you if you want to go and join an academy. I said yes. It was Auxerre, 700 kilometers from Marseille. I could go to Nice, I could go to Marseille, I could go to close to Marseille, But I wanted to go somewhere where it was raining.
Why?
Because the ball is faster.
So just for football reasons?
Yeah, football reasons, and also when you are in the south of France, it's a lot of sun, lot of things. You have a lot of influence, or bad influence.
Distractions.
Distractions, and I wanted to focus on the game But I was only 14 when I decided that. I was mature.
I was going to say, it's an incredibly serious 14-year-old.
Yeah, because my parents didn't want me. When I said I prefer to go to Auxerre, they said, okay, go to Auxerre. But of course, I'm sure they would prefer me to go to Marseille or to Nice because it was close to the house. I just wanted to go far away, but because of rain. Why I came to England?
I was just going to say, you're spiritual.
I could go to Spain or Italy or anywhere.
Of course, yes.
I came to England, I think, for the same reason, because the game is so fast when it's raining. You have Johan Cruyff, who was the manager of Barcelona when he arrived in Barcelona. He just put the water on the grass at the beginning of the game, at the half time, every time, because the ball goes much faster.
It's interesting that your commitment to your family was so complete, and yet even at such a young age of 14, your commitment to football was enough to take you 700 kilometers away from your family.
Yeah, but I always felt my family close to me.
14 is young.
It's very young. It's very young, yes, it's very young. I remember when I went to Auxerre, I didn't even know Auxerre because it was their first season in first division. It was a small club, small city, 45,000 people. And I took a train, took me hours. I was alone, 14, from Marseille to Auxerre, and I found it so. It was like traveling,
yes.
Travel. Still now, I love travel. I love to travel. I love to look through the windows, meet people from other cultures, from another city, and just love it. Yeah, I love this feeling of inspiration. Give me that travel gives me. And when I moved to Auxerre, I had this feeling
already.
I love the traveling train, and even when I was at the academy and came back sometimes to Auxerre, and my father was waiting for me in Marseille, the rail station in Marseille. I travel all the night. You meet people, you speak to the people, and then you will never see them again. I love this, and I find it very romantic to travel and all the rail stations.
Trains especially. Trains are the most romantic.
Train, airport, and everything. But now it's different, I think. Now the people have the screen 20 meters in front of their eyes,
And they're frightened. Everybody's frightened.
Nobody look at each other. We cannot feel the energy going through the people anymore.
Yeah.
And the eyes anymore.
No contact. So your childhood ended when you went to Auxerre? Your childhood ended when you went to Auxerre? You sound as if you were already embracing adulthood.
No, I arrived in Auxerre. I was a teenager. I've been lucky to meet somebody like Giroud. Giroud was manager of Auxerre.
Yes,
and he was like a second father for me. And we fought a bit, but we always respect each other, and I learned a lot with him. And now he's nearly 80, and sometimes we see each other, and I really love him, and he loves me too. Yeah, it was. I have been lucky to work with this kind of people, to meet this kind of people.
So,
luck for me, it's the people you meet.
Yes.
Yeah, and how you can learn, and what you can take from the people. What kind of advice? What they will take from you? Say the right word. And I've been lucky to meet somebody like Giroud, like Platini, like Ferguson.
Yes.
All
father figures in a way.
Yeah. Beckenbauer also. I didn't work very long with Beckenbauer when he was in Marseille.
You felt that connection.
But I worked. Yeah.
Do you reserve your respect for the people whose understanding of the game is as great as yours or better, maybe? Or is it more of a personal connection?
It's a personal connection, and also advice. Of course, yes. We have to learn every time. I remember when I was at the academy, some player was great, technically, physically, everything. But they were 14 or 15. They were like they knew everything. They didn't listen to the advices of the other one and everything. And they never succeeded. They never played in the first team. And now bunker maybe.
Yes. Or worse. Or better.
Or worse. Or there is nothing.
So you were like a sponge. You would absorb from around you.
Yeah.
See, we've been here now 10 minutes. And already you've told me that your family is really, really important to you. And then you went 700 kilometers away. And you've also told me that you're quite solitary, but that you love talking to strangers on trains. So the Cantona contradictions are already... No. already emerging, and also with some of your old school friends who've been interviewed about you over the years. Christophe Galtier described you as quite shy as a child, and yet you describe yourself as being confident, travelling up and down the country on your own, having conversations with strangers.
No, shy. I'm shy. My grandfather used to say to me, "You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You have to listen twice more than you speak."
It's good advice.
Yeah. So if some of the people think it's to be shy, it's okay. But I like to listen to people.
So you're
but I speak a lot.
Do you listen twice as much?
I listen to you, but I have to speak. So I feel a bit uncomfortable. Do I look shy?
No, it was not a word I'd have chosen, but it's one of your old school friends who, of course, went into the game himself.
And I like to meet and speak to people in certain circumstances.
Yes.
Yes, I do. And when you travel, it's very special moment. you are not completely yourself.
It's true, isn't it? It's why airports have a weird feel to them, a strange atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where you're,
even more the railway station.
Yes,
right, you say
like limbo, in between two worlds, maybe.
Yeah.
I like that. When we kind of think of you in this country, obviously we think of lots and lots of different elements to your personality and your story, but we don't necessarily think about your early years. You've mentioned your grandfather a lot, and you've given an impression of being a global citizen. I know you're French in your soul as well, but your grandparents' backgrounds are fascinating because neither of them were French.
No. From my mother's side, my grandparents arrived in France in '39 after the civil war in Spain. Yeah, and spent 2 years in a refugees camp in the south of France. And from my mother's side, they came from Sardinia. They just left Italy because it was so poor this time, and arrived in France.
So you've always had a consciousness.
But I still, maybe because of that, or I don't know. But I don't feel I don't feel friendly. I'm against, not against. I don't believe in religions, and I don't want to believe in countries also, in borders. There is a drawing in that book, because if you start from a country, if you zoom in, you arrive to your navel. From your country, you go to the region, then your city, and then your area, your street, and your family, and then yourself. I prefer to zoom out because in what they call a country, which is France or England. In France, for instance, there is a lot of regions with a lot of different culture and traditions, and everybody respects all the culture inside the borders. But we have a country like France or England or America. They want everybody in the world live like the point of view, yes. Like if they had the truth on everything. They don't even respect the culture. They go to a country, and they say, "Oh, you have to live like we think you have to live." No, we have to. And each country it's diplomacy inside, But outside, they want the world to live like them. Yes. I call that dictature.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a terrorism of economy.
By trying to impose your model.
It's why I prefer to have a global.
Well, do you know? I don't know.
You see Trump saying, "I want the power of America coming back," and why come power of what? I prefer the power of the world and America, and you have country next to you that everybody's dying.
Theresa May, our Prime Minister, said,
and the culture, it's something who feeds the human being. We have to mix and respect the culture. I spent 2 months in China, and I love to be in China. I was interested about their culture. I was interested about the food, about the culture, about everything, the feeling, the ways they have to move. They move, everything. Everything is different, but it's lovely. I don't want the world or the people live in one way, like something unique, like everybody's a robot. No, it's wonderful to have so many cultures. Why we don't respect that?
Maybe the tide is moving in the wrong direction for this attitude at the moment. You mentioned Trump, I mentioned Marine Le Pen. Brexit in Britain is a very insular, a narrow movement. Maybe the world is moving away from, at the moment, away from your ideals.
I completely agree with you. It's why I speak about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's why you have concern for refugees, because of your view and also because of your family, because of your background.
So I think so. Yeah. Why I did that? I think because it's a kind of heritage. I haven't lived it, but I could feel it because I live with my parents and my grandparents. So I don't forget my heritage. So I can do it. I do it. I'm sure some people want to do it, but they cannot do it.
This is
me. I can do it, and I do it.
A home for a Syrian family.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Just to try to.
Well, what's the atmosphere like in France?
I would have, if I need something, I would love that somebody will help me.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
It's quite simple.
It's quite simple, but the simplicity. It's most difficult thing.
Sometimes.
Like in football, the most difficult thing is to score a goal where 11 players touch the ball once, and the last one just put the ball back in the net. Yes. That's very simple, but it's so difficult.
Our Prime Minister said when she was elected that a citizen of the world is a citizen of nowhere. I think, having listened to you now, that seems to be the polar opposite of what you just said. It's a strange, very strange time politically. Are you optimistic about the future at the moment?
If I am optimistic, no, I'm not really optimistic. It's like if we're coming back from, instead of progression, it's like we're coming back like
reverse.
Yeah, we reverse
to bad times.
Not bad times, but we should learn from the past, and it seems that we don't learn from the past, because you see that the history is a repetition of everything. You had the crisis in 2000 in 1029.
Yes.
And then
before Germany, you mean?
Yeah, and then a few years later, you are Hitler in. Hitler,
for Mussolini, and now economic
and
crisis.
Now
in
you had the crisis
Trump.
in 2008. I'll not say that Trump is Hitler,
of course.
But you see the nationalism growing up everywhere. Yeah, and we don't learn from the past. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because there are people, there are politicians. They should be more visionary and more. We depend on them.
Yes.
Yeah. And fortunately, Marine Le Pen is not president of France.
No.
But we were very close.
He was surprisingly close, and much closer than perhaps people realize.
But it's ignorance, I think. The people are not informed enough. It's just they don't even know why they vote for something or not.
And also, if you give somebody a target, a scapegoat, it's seductive. It's easy to blame problems in your life on something outside, and it's easier perhaps to look down.
It's always been like this.
Yes.
Also, you have the Polish in France who came in in 1019 in France before the first World War and worked in France, and then the World War began, and everybody say that it was because of Polish, because a stranger.
Yes.
It's every time the same. For centuries, every time it's the same.
Always.
Yeah. It's unbelievable that today we still have people with all of kind of information we can have that still think like this.
Yes. More maybe than in previous generations.
Even more. It seems that the more information we have, more ignorant they are. Maybe they don't have the right information.
And this explains to me why some before the last European Championships, when you were talking about Benzema and Ben Arfa and Deschamps not selecting them, you were quite bold in stating that you felt perhaps their origins were playing a part in how they were being perceived.
I'll open debate and let the people comment it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it. So
you open the debate because you have the strength and the power to do that.
I open debate in everything, like I did with the banks, and I let the people comment it. And when you open debate, the people start to speak about it, and it's good.
Yes, it's
good. We just said before that the people need to be informed, and for the banks, for instance, they spoke about it in more than 70 countries, and 70 countries you have debate on TV, and the politicians were afraid about it, just because everybody learned that if the people want to take the money, the bank only have 3% of their money. Free.
In reserves. Yes, I know. If everybody says, give me my money, everything falls to pieces.
So the only solution they have is to close the bank. It's illegal, but they can do it. And we see that, this kind of thing. And we have seen in Cyprus, We see this kind of thing. They have the power to close it and to not let the people take their money. And it's not a problem. It's not a problem. But me, if I make a mistake, I have a problem with the justice and the police.
Yes. You have a very strong sense of justice.
I don't have the sense. Right? I have a great sense of humor.
Of course, you can have both. You can have a sense of humor and a sense of justice.
It's just a big circus, all of that.
I understand.
Yeah. And but more we speak about it, more when we realize that it's a circus, and we can laugh about it.
When the financials, on the financial side, we can, and from absurdity, hopefully comes change. But not so much on the race and the violence side, because after Charlie Hebdo, when you spoke about the last temptation of Christ, that for me was an incredibly brave intervention, because you reminded people that actually some mad Christians had tried to blow up a cinema or burn down a cinema, and nobody then decided that all Christians were dodgy.
You're right, but is it at me to say this kind of thing?
Well,
after a few days.
Yes. Why?
It's not my role. I have something more things to do.
Well, but nobody else was doing it.
But at the end of the day, if nobody said it, I have to say it.
So this is a sense of duty, a moral duty?
No, it's just normal to say something like this.
Well, it's just normal. If it was normal, lots of people would be doing
like it was.
Yes.
Just point one region and not another one. No, it's the same everywhere. You have fanatics everywhere.
Yes, in every...
Yeah, it's why I'm against religion, maybe. But I love the philosophy of religions who became religions.
Sure.
I love this. At the beginning, the philosophy it was, but it just became something different. And now the people kill each other just because you believe in that and me, I believe in that. And we live in a world of, it's a crazy world. All war, religious.
Usually,
it's unbelievable. Just the human being. It's not. We have to take that in consideration. That the human being is just it just need the power, and ready to kill everybody to have this power.
And you see it corrupting people. The more power they get, the more corrupt potentially they become. In this country, and you know this, in this country, a sportsman is not really allowed to talk about politics. Gary Lineker, he tries sometimes. The newspapers, they attack him and they abuse him very rarely. They say, know your place, stay in your lane. You've never really had a lane.
As a citizen, you can say whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah. We are all allowed to give our point of view. I don't say that the people have to think like I think, but I can give my point of view.
But you're a public intellectual, and you will reject that label, but you are.
I just give my point of view like everybody's allowed to give. But you have people who have great ideas about politics and everything, but they don't have the voice. They don't have the opportunity to express themselves. Yeah. That's a shame, but it's like this. It's like the politicians. It's the politics. It's only at on the end of politicians. No, politics. It's for everybody.
But in France, the tradition is more inclusive. In France, conversation and debate and philosophy, nobody sniggers. But when you came to England with your insights and your interests, Leeds United in particular was perhaps not the most fertile environment for theatre of the mind.
No, I mean, I really love England.
Yes, I know. I can tell.
I love England.
Why?
I don't know. I did some interviews last week in France, and I do some interviews here. I met some journalists here and journalists in France. It's not just you are much more professional. You have much more humor on yourself and everything. Yeah, it's unbelievable how good the English are.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. It's just true. The French, we all think that we are, and maybe I'm like this because I'm French. Yeah, no, I'm not French. I'm not French. No, I have origin coming from everywhere. I'm from nowhere. Even not even the world. I come from the universe.
So when you arrived in Leeds,
I met some stars.
You are a star. When you arrived in a very big, or a planet, I don't know. When you arrived in Leeds, there must have been
a real question about stars. Yeah. When you see the stars shining,
yes,
and there are billions of kilometers for the speed of the electricity,
speed of light.
You think we receive it this time, and they are not shining at this time.
No.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's thousands and thousands of years ago. It's millions.
Because when we receive it,
Yeah.
it's so far away.
Yes.
It's not in
crazy.
in real time.
It make my head hurt.
Yeah, me too.
My teeth itch.
And I love to
Lie back.
in the summer lie back on the grass and look at the stars.
Because it reminds you how tiny you are.
Yes, and I love to go on the coast also, and on the ocean and feel the strong ocean,
Yes.
And we are nothing.
No, we're a
and we
grain of
think
sand.
that everything goes around us, Yeah, we are so pretentious.
Maybe. I keep asking you about Leeds and you keep talking about lots of different things.
Yeah.
What was it?
Because Leeds is different.
But Leeds is different. But what was it when you got to Leeds?
I love when I ride in
Clearly,
Leeds. It was
yes,
great.
but it was-
we won the Premiership, and
Yes.
for me, as I told you before, it was an unbelievable feeling because I didn't know England, and I arrive here. You drive on the other side, everything is different. In Europe, if there is one different country, it's England. Yeah,
But, yes.
you are unique. It's
For,
why I
for
like
good and for bad, I think. I think for good
no,
and
for good.
No,
For good.
Sometimes for good.
No,
Maybe.
for good.
Okay,
But
well,
me,
thank
the
you.
feeling I had, it was something different.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had a great feeling. And I came from France. I played for France, but
Yes.
nobody knew me when I arrived, And I was free to walk on the street and everywhere. But,
Not
and
for
then
long.
we started to win,
Not for long.
and
Not for long.
not for long. Yeah, but the first few weeks, it was a great feeling. Yeah. I loved it.
Do you enjoy fame? I mean, as a younger man, did you like it when people started recognizing you and hero worshipping you in Leeds and in Manchester?
When you play football, you do a public job. Of course you're happy when the people ask you for a picture or an autograph. Yes, of course. But I didn't do it for that.
No, of course.
I did it for the passion I had for the game.
And was it true that you brought a work ethic to England that English players hadn't seen before? That when you would go back to training in the afternoon and they may have gone off somewhere else because you were still working so hard, you were still learning, you were still absorbing, even though you were already an international player. Is that true? That was always.
I train hard. Yeah.
That was always the
and I
legend.
love to train hard. It's just I love it. I love to train. I love to go to the training in the morning, and I love to train hard. And I love the moment when you train hard and you're proud of yourself and take a shower. And then you feel unbelievable.
How do you replace that feeling now?
Cinema or theater, it's good. It's great.
You get a
Give
similar.
you adrenaline,
It does.
and you need to work. Yeah,
And you don't.
it's the same. It's the same thing. You have to work very hard to find the confidence, and with the confidence, because you work hard, you can enjoy it. You can enjoy it. But after, it's a different game.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a passion that gives you adrenaline. But it's nothing compared to sport, as football especially. But cinema or theater, it's very exciting also, and you have to find your own way to work and to find this confidence.
Is football more creative than acting? Because acting, however hard you work, however much you learn, still someone else wrote the words. And when you're playing football at the level you play, and a few other players play, I'm going to sound very pretentious now, but it's art on the pitch. So it's more creative than acting.
I always say that football was an art, but some people don't want to accept it.
Sodom.
But I think it's an art. It's very creative. But actor is creating also.
Yes.
Yeah. But
But you don't get the same buzz. So when you talked about the passion of football, tell me what you mean. You described it actually.
I have the passion in acting also.
You do?
Yeah, really. If I do it, it's because I have the passion for it. I really have the passion.
Did that ambition exist in your 20s, or did it exist after you retired and you looked at always you wanted
always. And I thought that the best. I thought that I had to start by football. It was better, no?
That was a way in to get there. So it's like the big drama school of Manchester United. It was that's how you got there. And then, of course, you retired at 30. Was it a difficult decision to take? Bearing in mind, you said all along, I'll get this line right. I said I was very passionate about the game, and that when I lost that passion, I would retire. Of course, no one believed it, but when I felt I lost the passion, I retired. I didn't regret it. Still no regrets.
No.
It's like the Edith Piaf song, isn't it?
No, rien de rien.
But you regret nothing.
No, je ne regrette.
You could have had 5 more years. 5 more years?
But yeah, I know,
5,
even
6.
10.
Yeah, even 10 now, but nothing.
No. Yeah, but you can have 5 more years if you still have the passion.
Was it like a light going out, like flick, or did it slowly?
No, it came like this. Yeah.
Really? And you just woke up one morning and thought, I don't want to do this anymore?
Not like this. No, I waited because, you say, oh, it will come back, and it will come back, and it never came back, so I retired. Yeah. But it's just normal.
Did people understand?
It's just honest, I think.
Yes.
But I admire a player who can play for 20 years, especially in the same club, like Ryan Giggs or Maldini or Xavi for Barcelona, They are unbelievable. And you see that after 20 years, they have the same passion for the game. I admire that, but I'm not this kind of person. I get bored very quickly.
Do you?
Yeah.
There are many different kinds of passion. Can I read you something from Roy Keane's autobiography? It's about you after the infamous game in Istanbul, the Galatasaray game, where, and for people who aren't familiar with that, you got twatted on their head by a policeman with a truncheon, didn't you? I mean, genuinely, the policeman hit you. And Roy Keane writes, in the dressing room, Eric went crazy. While the rest of us just wanted to get out of there, Eric was determined to sort out the rogue cop who had been wielding his truncheon. Eric was a big, strong lad. He was serious. He insisted he was going to kill that fucker. It took the combined efforts of the manager, Brian Kidd, and a few of the players to restrain him. Even I didn't fancy that one. Now, that's why earlier I said to you that you have a strong sense of justice and a strong sense of duty. But maybe you were just furious. I don't know. Were you just furious, or did you feel that you had been a victim of an injustice that day?
No, a policeman is there to protect us, no?
Precisely.
Yeah. Yes. And he protected me from behind,
Yes.
And he killed me from behind. No, not kill me, but he beat me from behind.
Yes.
Yeah, just like this, and disappeared. Yeah, and I'm sure that the images in the video was somewhere, but they lost everything.
How convenient.
Yeah, inconvenience. Yeah, just if it was somebody else than the policeman, maybe I would have react differently.
Okay.
But a policeman.
Yes.
Yeah, a policeman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have the temper?
But he disappeared.
Yeah, he
disappeared like a weak man.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Do you still have the temper?
I still have the temper, yeah.
When did you last lose it?
No. But I think the last time I didn't. It's like a red card. I didn't have many red cards in my career.
No,
maybe 4 or 5. It's not a lot, but it was very spectacular.
I was going to say when you did get a red card, especially
everybody
the
remember
infamous.
it. But
yes.
I didn't have a lot. 4 or 5, but I had a lot of provocation and everything, and just some 4 or 5 times I lost my temper, but it's not a lot.
No, it's not. No. But like you say, when you lost it, you lost it. Big
but when you do something, you have to do it well. Huh?
If you're gonna make a mistake, make a huge mistake.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a dream,
yes,
make sure that it's a big dream.
Well, fair enough. If you big, it's the highs. If the highs are very high, the lows will be very low. I guess that's how it works. Did you wake up after the incident with the Palace Spectator? Did you wake up after that and think, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Or did you wake up and think,
I said, I have done it, so now I have to face it.
Deal with it.
Yeah, and I did it.
What did Alex Ferguson say to you after that?
I can't remember.
Oh, come on.
No, I can't remember. No.
So you'd just move on straight away?
Yeah. No, he said, I'm sure he said something special to me. What I think, what I will never forget, it's when I was banned for 9 months, United asked me to sign a new contract.
Yes.
It's only Manchester United.
That's class.
Can do this kind of thing.
You think you still have in your heart a special place?
Yeah.
Really? Do you?
Yeah. I'm sure in any other club it would have been different.
When Alex Ferguson wrote to you in 1997, he said, "This is very sweet. I keep hoping that I will discover a young Cantona.
Yeah.
It is a dream. Your relationship with him was very special.
Very special.
Do you keep in touch? How does it work?
I'm not the kind of guy who uses telephone and everything, but every time I can in Manchester, it was a great pleasure to meet him. Yeah, I still learn things from him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is United still your favourite team?
Of course.
Always.
Yes.
You don't have to say that. We're in London. You can tell me the truth.
I tell you the truth. Yeah.
Why is it so special? Why is it so
special?
special to you? I mean, what is it? You played in a lot of clubs at the highest level.
Because of relationship with the players, with everybody. I felt like it was a great family. Even the player were dead and everything who played for United. I felt this presence somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Everybody helped each other. You have the old player always say good things about new generation, and I never felt any kind of jealousy between generations and the fans and everything. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it was like a it was like a dream, but the emotion I had. I spent the best time of my career because we won things, but the emotion I had came from the thing we won, but not only from that. From all of the relationship I had with different people, with the player, even with the kid man, Norman. I remember Norman, the woman at the reception, everywhere, the fans, everything. It was just, like the time I spent with my family when I was a child, with my grandparents, with my fathers, my brothers, and my mother. Yeah.
You sound almost spiritual. You sound as if you're describing almost something spiritual when you talk about the dead players and the sense, something beyond what you can see with your eyes.
Something that it's not only what you see and what you live today, it's what you feel also, and what stay in your memory. What you have seen, but what you have felt also. Yeah.
Are you spiritual? You say you're not religious.
No, but spiritual is different.
Yes, I know. That's why I ask.
I believe in the energy.
In something else.
In energy of the people. It's why we have to keep looking to each other.
And again, something that maybe the tide at the moment is going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So, given that, I'm sorry to ask you this again, but I want to try and get a better personal understanding. When you've just described really the best years of your life professionally, you've described a relationship with a football club and with your colleagues, from the receptionist right up to the gaffer, in almost a romantic way, and then you walked away from it.
Because the passion for the game.
What does the
game? To play at the highest level, you have to be careful on what you eat, what you drink, or what time you go to bed, what you sing, everything. You have to be concentrated on the game and everything. And to do that, you need to have the passion, 100% of passion. Yeah.
Is it all?
And if you lose about a bit of passion, you lose about a bit of something, and you don't play at your highest level. And I wasn't interested. I play football to have the feeling of improvement, everything.
Right.
Every time. In a game, what I can learn from the game. If I score one goal, I think about the one I didn't score and why I didn't score it.
Yes.
When I miss a pass, why I missed the pass. And I look at the game, I look back, and try not to look back and say, I didn't do it well. No, how can I prove it next time? It's great, but when you don't have the passion, you lose the passion, and you say you realize that you will not play at the highest level.
So there's two things here. So there's the passion, but also there's the knowledge that you won't get any better.
Help you to work to improve yourself every time. But when you lose the passion, you cannot improve yourself anymore. I love this feeling of improvement, or have a goal of improvement.
When you stop playing football, this is you, it's very difficult. Football is like a drug. Sport is like a drug. Physiologically, it's like your drug, and you need it. You need something. I think a lot of players have depression after football because they miss something, but it helped me a lot to live in my imagination. If I don't have this opportunity, I die.
Yeah. I still think like this today. Yeah, nothing changed at all.
And actually, we've not mentioned the book enough, but this is a remarkable journey through your imagination. Where did the idea come from?
My imagination.
No, to publish a book, not to what to put in it. When did you decide? I'm going to do a notebook. I'm going to put my cartoons and my thoughts and my bon mot.
Yeah.
And my. But it's a bit like Keith Haring. Some of it, isn't it? Some of the drawings are a bit like the famous.
Yeah.
Why?
But it's me. Yeah.
So, but what do you want to do with it? What are you giving to people?
I just want to share something. As I told you, the most important thing for me is to have my netbook every day in my pocket and do it. After this is a book. Okay, I share something with the people, but and together we can open some doors and debate. And
yes.
Even if we are not, we cannot see each other. By energy.
Like the Charlie Hebdo thing, you start a conversation. You don't have to stick around for the conversation. You say something that starts a debate.
Yeah, I like to open doors.
Yes.
For myself, and I like when I see a piece of art of somebody or help me to open some doors, and it's not a piece of art. It's with a lot of humility. It's very simple things. Simple, yes. But help us to travel and open some doors.
To provoke.
Yeah, to provoke. And I love to do it, and I'm sure maybe you will love to read it.
It is lovely. It really is. What though, when you have, in a way, by the age of 30, you've conquered the world, and that's part of the problem when you talk about giving up football and it being a depression. How do you stop the rest of your life feeling like an anti-climax?
Anti-climax.
Like you're at the top of the mountain at 30, and you spend the next 50, 60 years.
Yeah. No.
Going down.
I don't go down. Huh?
No, I know. But if you're on top of the world
at 30, top of the mountain, but my life, it's my life. Why we should do only one thing? Life, it's a long life, and if you have the chance to have the passion, we have to live. We have to live them, and I don't have the feeling that I'm going down of anything.
Just never.
No, just I started the cinema 20 years ago, and today I made maybe 30 movies.
Yes.
And, I'm lucky. I can do some plays in theater in France. I can do this kind of book, and
you're free.
There is a lot of things that give me excitement also.
And you have freedom.
And freedom.
Yes.
So I really enjoy it. I don't have the feeling to go down of anything. And going down of what? For me, I don't speak about the. I just speak about passion.
Yes.
And what you do, and why you do it, and what you achieve. After, the people can think whatever they like. As I told you before, I never wanted to be a footballer to become famous.
Sure.
I don't care about that. I didn't become a footballer to earn money. I could have paid to play football, and I could pay to play in a movie.
You're very
because
lucky.
I love it,
Are you lucky?
And I'm lucky that they ask me to play, and they pay me.
It's double. You win.
Yeah.
Do you?
And I live my passion.
Yes, still.
Which it's even more. It's even stronger when you come from a world we can call football.
Yeah.
And to the cinema or theater, which is another world we can call another world. But for me, it's the same. It's just my life, and I can just enjoy it. I live for something, and I can feel, because of that, a fire inside of me. I feel alive.
Still.
Don't say happy, but alive.
Yeah. Final question: Do you have any ambitions left? Do you still have do you have dreams to fulfill? Tell me.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm sure I will not die.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You'll be the first.
I'll be the first.
Yeah. You have a sense inside.
I'm
this can
sure
never end.
I will find a solution.
This can never end.
I will find a solution. I'm not afraid about the death, but I love so much life.
It's a big ambition.
it's a big ambition. Yeah. So why not?
Eric Cantona, thank you so much. That's been a real pleasure.
Thanks
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.